Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to WOR. It is time for Tier 7 in Season 14, round number 9, and it is at Saudi Arabia. The race, which is obviously going to be taking place in real life this weekend as well. So, it gives us a little taste, and especially as a commentator, as I will be also doing some commentary for real life, very helpful as well to get a tiny bit used to the circuit and get a bit more into it. And obviously, we obviously have a tiny bit of a longer stream today due to the sprint race as well. We have 18 minutes, then a 9-lap race, and then 25 laps. Now, it is Saudi Arabia. Chaos, I can literally write this down. It's kind of guaranteed here. Because if you look at the last, I've covered so far, is it 4? Yep, around 4 races. 3 of them have been pure chaos. One of them has been alright. So, last time out, I think, was one of the best races in WR history. So, I'm expecting, so we've had it at Portugal, absolute chaos. We've had chaos last time out in Bahrain. I'm expecting chaos here at Saudi. The walls are closed, the drivers will be pushing right to the limits around this circuit. So it's going to be a very interesting one, under the lights of course as well. And it is also our final sprint race of the year, second and final, sprint race of the year. So let's hope this is going to be an interesting one at the 6.174 kilometers racetrack, 27 turns as well. And ignore the settings being changed. Those are just being changed momentarily for people to help some drivers look through the open lobby list. So right now the lobby is going to be open, so the drivers will just be able to look into it, and it's obviously going to be a tiny bit different because 100% race, full practice, full quali, so it's easier for people to find. But so we will change it out before we get going. But thank you for joining me here at Saudi Arabia. And let's hope this is going to be an interesting one then. While we do wait, I'll just quickly see if there's anything I can quickly check right before. So I'll take you through our standings in a second. And if the standings are actually updated very quickly after this, I might actually be able to take you through basically a lot of the standings and stuff, so it's going to be interesting right after the race. So, right, I'm on mobile, so this is a tiny bit harder. We have console, crossplay tier 7. Let me just check the driver, who's in first position, because that will tell me all I need to know, and that is Medj, who is currently in first. And what I mean by that is, I just needed to look whoever was in first position, because I definitely know it's Medj. So here we go. Then we're just currently waiting. Has someone extra joined the lobby? I'll just make sure that I'm definitely spectating as well. Yep. Unsure who this person is. Removed. So yeah, I think we're actually ready to go until we need to first change the settings. Also, it's wet, but we're going to change that as well. Just noticed. But we're obviously not going to be having a wet race. I mean, it's all down to the game. If the game wants to give us a wet race, then fine. But we're definitely not going to be having one set by us. Which it would be very rare if the game did give us a wet race. But it is possible. Obviously, this Grand Prix in real life came in 2021. And basically, 2 races there at the circuit, pure chaos. And as a viewer, I don't know how obviously people think of it in the game, etc. But as a viewer, it's basically brilliant to watch. Really exciting, really thrilling. Has a lot of action. So I'll be hoping that this one is just as good. We have reduced safety cars now as well, so there'll be less safety cars. Which means the field will bunch up less. Because if there's no safety cars, the field obviously will spread a tiny bit more apart. But we will still have safety cars at some point, but not as frequent as the other ones. And not surprised, because at the rate I've been watching some other tiers, there's first of all been a lot of side by side to the line. So get ready for me to lose my voice again today. This tier almost made me did it last week. I think this week there is a big chance of that happening, knowing that it's Saudi Arabia. Rain. Yep. So it should be changed, because as you can see, practice is on, quali is full, race is 100%, all of it is 100. So should be changed. I think it was just to get people in. So 19 currently. I'm unsure what's happening, but we think we're just kicking someone out, maybe. Because obviously some people might feel tempted. Oh, it's almost a full grid. Why don't we join in the fun? Anyway, so settings back up. Dynamic. If the race wants to give us rain, give us rain. Which I doubt it, but we'll definitely not be putting that in the settings. Now I've just realised I've deleted a very good app on my phone, which helps with the WOR standings. So my phone doesn't take that long to download back, so I'll quickly do that. So the standings can be delayed for a tiny bit, but one thing I can tell you is Meg still in a league of his own, I would say. Obviously his record is gone. We've been given the ready up message now. His record is obviously gone on finishing first or second in every race so far this season, but one record now I can say. Don't worry, I still have enough. I still have enough things to say about him. He's finished on the podium now. Okay, let's just say that phrase, because he finished third last time out. So this is hopefully going to be an exciting one. We're about to go into qualifying, same as usual, but before we get into the race, we have 9 laps to decide the grid, and the quali will decide the grid for the sprint race for anyone who isn't aware. So going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top. We're about to go into the qualifying session, and obviously when we first look at the track map, we probably would be thinking that turn number 27 isn't that hard. Well, actually, as Verstappen probably proved in 2021 qualifying, I mean, it could be the corner that ruins your lap, because I mean, we could see it today, maybe not a crash, but you want to get the best out of the car coming right at the end. So you could lose it, you could run wide, anything of that is possible. But here we go. Lovely to see the dark skies with, I believe, 600 lights around this racetrack. Might be more, depends, because that was actually in 2021. So here we go. But in the pit lane, track pictures currently as all the drivers apply their setups, and so just waiting for anyone to come out. I think I see some mechanics, and I can hear it as well. So there we have some cars now coming onto this racetrack. Dixme is already retired from this session. Is he trying to do a last to first here? I mean, it's a sprint race, so we could see some of that. For a second I couldn't go off board with him, but here we have Thomas making a return to this tier as well. Like, when I joined in Portugal, I can remember this, to cover this tier. I've obviously been here for the this whole season of WR, but I've just been covering different tiers. But when I obviously did start covering this tier, obviously I think that's the moment where we didn't have Thomas anymore. So first time I'll be doing commentary on him, unless he was racing in Baku tier 7. But basically from that period to Portugal, I've commentated on too many tiers to remember that. Almost every single tier. So anyway, I think he'll be the first driver who will focus on as well around the 27 corners of the 6.174 kilometers racetrack. Medj's left his session. I believe he's unfortunately having some Wi-Fi, and that is going to be a big disappointment if that is the case. And Dixme is going to do a last to first. He's going to attempt it. I mean, it is possible, because remember, this is a sprint race as well. First of all, let's go on board with the Alfa Romeo driver of Thomas as he makes his way down towards turn number 1 and attacks one of the 27 corners. I think a tiny bit wide. He would have probably wanted to be a tiny bit more over the curb there. So I think a tiny bit more wide. Didn't attack him. Maybe going for a different racing line and a different approach though. As now through 4. Don't want to run too wide. Has to collect a bit of a snap. And luckily he was able to collect it. But currently doesn't look like the best lap. The car doesn't seem like it wants to go with him. As this part of the track is planted foot to the floor then. Now towards the banking. And I'm expecting a move around the outside. I want to see a move around the outside of the banking. Will anyone be able to provide one of those? But it does get very close on the exit. And now, making your way. Now, really through this section, it's basically your throttle is planted and a little bit of contact with the wall there as well. So it doesn't look like it's a good lap so far by him. But maybe just getting used to it. Maybe just getting into the groove now. DRS goes open. The first DRS off the circuit as well, and then you go to the second DRS zone and you make your way towards turn number 27, and you can see from the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo that the DRS is open. Also in real life, another thing, the detection zone has been moved after turn number 27. There's your detection zone. Well, in real life, not anymore. Your detection zone is where the Alpine is spun. So there you go, perfect example. Around where the Alpine is spun, that's going to be your detection zone. In real life, it's Thomas, 1 minute 29.958 for the Alfa Romeo man. Let's join his teammate then, as he pushes on now to the end of this lap. Through turn number 27. Back on the power. Does he get a tiny bit of slipstream? Let's see. Trying to tuck in as much as he can. Short to switch to the line. As he comes over, can he go ahead of his teammate? Yes, he can. 1 minute 29.562. Beaten though by Risk, who is one of the drivers who is expected to be one of the contenders to take race victory today. Will he be able to do that today though? We have hot speed. Don't think that's a proper fast lap by him. He has probably more time to find in this one. As we have Matt, 1 minute 29.480, and then slotting in is the AlphaTauri man, Chris. So this one, all of the laps now just coming in. And you can see Jordan also slotting into third position as well. So just currently seeing all of the drivers. We'll cut to someone who might be pushing on. Here is West. We join the Ferrari man with DRS open. And heading down towards turn number 27 as well. So it looks like Meg's having issues. Unfortunately, he's back in now once more. Let's see. He's making his way. The line 1 minute 29.892. So, let's see if we can join in. The lap here is Neil, he's invalidated though. We have Niall, who is pushing on down towards turn number 1 around Saudi Arabia. Well, you don't have to hear my voice anymore. I'll just let you listen to the Aston Martin making his way around the 27 corners of Jeddah. The lap's already invalidated, but it doesn't matter. You can still listen to him because he's still making his way around the 27 corners. Coming into the pits, where you were able to still listen to the Aston Martin make his way through. Here we have Trap pushing on in the Ferrari. Might be a perfect time to also take you through the Drivers' Championship while you watch the Ferrari also attack this circuit. Let me just quickly get it up. Correct, the app should be, it was downloaded earlier, but we're obviously getting into qualifying, wanted to focus on some laps straight away. But that is absolutely fine, because there we go, have it. So, I'm gonna find it. Crossplay tier 7 it is. There we go. Trap across the line, 1 minute 30.922 for him. The Ferrari man slotting in. Here is Meg, about to go pushing. We'll focus on this lap, but I want to quickly take you through the standings. We'll miss maybe a tiny bit of it. Well, obviously you can see it in the background, but I won't be talking over it for a tiny bit. But as we're on board with him, Meg also is our championship leader, 177 points. 96 points clear of the man who sits in second place. Barney is Snail in third. Then we have Risk in fourth, and Talentless, who has moved tiers, and then we have Trap, Chris, Adrian, and then Jordan, Hotspeed, and then we have Sabby, one of the reserves. Sheik was one of the reserves as well. Spike, and then we have Dixme, Adrian, also one of the reserves, and Jono as well, and Thomas. It says on here move tiers, but as you can see he is now back with us. And then Chico and Bab. And then we also had Luke, who joined in last time out, scored 1 point, finished in 10th position. And the man who currently sits in first position, the AlphaTauri driver of Chris. He won last time out under the lights as well in Bahrain. He'll be hoping to continue some of that form, and by sitting in first position, he'll be very happy with that. Megs, as I said, has scored a podium in every single race this season as well. Finished first or second in every race except last time out. And Barney not scoring any points last time out as well. And then McLaren dominating your constructors as well with 213, 110 points clear of the nearest rivals, which are Red Bull, with 103 points. And then we have Mercedes, Williams, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Haas, and Aston Martin with only 6 points. But we're going to have the Aston Martin trying to change that here today, as we have Meg comes over the line, third position for him. And talking about the Aston Martins, we'll actually cut to Niall, as He pushes on currently. As attacking over the curbs, but invalidating. So here we go. Remember, this is the grid for the sprint race, not the main race. We're going to have an extra race of 9 laps. We're watching Matt currently as he goes through. The corners which just keep coming, and a very easy place to invalidate. To the top of the table, 1 minute 28.3 for Risk in the Red Bull. And that's a good margin for now, but there is still going to be laps coming in. Chris is not going to be the one who will be able to fight that one though, because as you can see, he's invalidated. What about the Mercedes? Also has invalidated. Nail, 3.6 seconds down. And then we had Medj, who just came over the line as well. Now he's retired. That's the best he'll do in this session, but he'll probably drop even lower due to the more improvements coming in. Talking about improvements, there we have one, as we have a spin for Evo, but the improvement I was talking about is the man who's improved to second position. That's Barney with a 1 minute 28.796 for him. And is there anyone who's currently pushing on to see what they can do? Evo was the driver, obviously had the spin, so he won't have a chance. Dixon still sits in 16th due to the bottom 3 not being able to find a good lap which counts. I mean, if they are struggling to keep it track limits, I think they could just find, they could go as slow as they want, just like Ambab did. 1 minute 52.254, it'll at least get them ahead about a few places, I would say, because you could go ahead of Ambab, and then if the rest of the bottom 3, you'll obviously get ahead of Dixme, and then if the rest, and then if your other 2 people who aren't being able to set proper laps, if they aren't able to, then it's quite a few places improvement. But Dixme, wanting to do the last to first, might just be starting 16th if the bottom 3 aren't able to find. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that Dixme starts last, because that's exactly what his goal is. I want to fully be able to say starting last rather than, you know, so fully completes the phrase, doesn't it? Here we have Wes on an out lap. Just currently making his way through. So we're about to see him attack. We'll focus on this lap. Then with him, I'm just currently focusing also and seeing if there's any other information I can bring you. So he's about to go pushing. Let me just see if we can see any messages. Anything important said by the tier 7 drivers? Doesn't look like. I was about to say tier 3, but as you know, I've been commentating over different tiers, so gotta get used to it. Anyway, West running very wide through the first 2 corners, just a tiny bit too wide, a little bit too late on the brakes. You want to attack the inside curb, I would say, and then back over to the outside, and I think he's given that lap up, knowing he wasn't able to get the first corner he needed. We're about to see them coming out then. Obviously, the driver who takes pole position here is technically your gonna be the pole sitter who was said, because in 2021 the man who won the sprint race would be called that, but that's different. It is now the man who says the fastest lap in qualifying. Thomas finding an improvement to 9th position there. Here was the improvements on our screen. And here we go then. Now it's going to start getting tense. Here's the Red Bull of Risk he'll be hoping to stay in the same position he is in right now. So Medj saying his wheel disconnected on his lap, so he crashed out. So that explains it. Thank you for the information. Unfortunate for him. Let's hope he doesn't have any more issues today. Anyway, we'll focus on this lap. I'd say we'll focus on Chris first, because he is going to be one of the challengers. That's Nagy getting a time penalty. And he's already down there. He's collided with Niall, both of them in 17th and 18th. Not with the lap. Well, they don't even have a lap, let's just say that. They'll be looking for one though. Will they be able to find a lap? We'll be focusing though on Chris in the AlphaTauri, because he's one of the challengers. Barney's staying in the pit, so he's definitely not going to be challenging. So your nearest rival currently is going to be Chris. We will obviously change and do all of that. So Risk starts his lap, then making his way down into turn number 1. We're going to focus though on the AlphaTauri, who will try and challenge as he makes his way around the final corner. Big accident as the Ferrari goes into the back of the AlphaTauri, and Chris has been given a grid penalty, and I think that's gonna stop. I mean, that's gonna ruin it for him. Here is Risk, and 2 of his nearest rivals currently will not be able to defeat him. Chris might still be able to, but the Ferrari of Wes was approaching fastly, and contact between them at the final corner, and Risk is all out of shape. He's pushing right to the edge of the circuit as well as we make our way through. Then currently pushing on. You want to stay close to the walls, but you don't want to touch them, and you want to be right on the edge to maximize all the time you can. Checker flag is out for this qualifying group to decide the sprint race. DRS goes open then for him as he makes his way down into 22, then pushing on, back on the power. DRS about to go open again, now making his way down into turn number 27. He's been pushing right to the edge of the circuit on this lap. Can he get turn number 27 right though, and try and extend his advantage? Late on the brakes, I think it was a tiny bit too wide there maybe. Wanted to probably turn the car in, close to the wall, hasn't hit it though. DRS is open. Is he going to be able to extend his advantage as he makes his way to the line? The answer is no. By 2 seconds he is down, and it's going to be Chris, who would have been hoping, as there was a Mercedes who crashed out in that qualifying. He is going to be gutted with that time penalty. Sorry, grid penalty. I keep saying time penalty, but it is a grid penalty for him. And we're going to have Chris then, who might be able to take this one away on in this qualifying. There's a Williams also who has spun, but we're going to watch Chris then in the AlphaTauri as he makes his way right towards the line. Can he take it away on the timing page at least? Yes, he can. 1 minute 28.097 for him, but it's going to be, due to the time penalty, will be Risk currently, who will be on pole position. Alongside him will be Barney, and it's kind of one of those qualifying endings where you're kind of like, well, I mean, I couldn't get too much excited because I know he won't be starting there, but there we go. That is your qualifying order. It will be Risk who'll start in first. It will be Barney alongside him. It will be Matt in 4th, Neil in 5th, Medj in 6th. Then we'll have Jordan, then Spike, then Evo, and then Thomas making his return to this tier. Then we're going to have Matt, then Trap, then Vest, the man who collided. He was pushing on, and we had Chris in the way, making contact at turn number 27 for both of them. Then we're going to have Hotspeed, Maney, Ambav, Dixme, who's attempting to do a last to first. It will be Nagy who will start right at the back due to the 5th place grid penalty as well, and it will be Niall, the man who collided with Nagy, who will start in 18th. After obviously Nagy's grid penalty is applied, but he's at the bottom. So there we go. Well, I'd say that was interesting. and risk taking his second pole position of the season if this is updated, because it only says 4 pole sitters and they've only got 1, so I think this is a unupdated one because we've had more than 4 races, and I doubt qualifying hasn't been counted in most of them anyway, because we are at round number 9. So yeah, the sprint race is definitely going to be an interesting one. No formation lap, of course, so when we do get the time, I will be straight into it. There we go. There is our timer. So it is going to be time to go racing around the streets of Jeddah under the lights, of course. And this one's going to be, I would say, 9 laps of absolute chaos. This will decide the grid for the main race. As the timer ticks down, we're about to go racing for one of the 2 starts we're going to have today. Here we go. It is the second sprint race of the year. It is also the final sprint race of the season. Here come the lights. We're racing in Saudi Arabia, and it's a good reaction time from Chris, but will he be able to keep the lead, or will it be Risk to dive to the inside line as we go to the opening corners? It's Chris who started in first position even after the penalty, so it's going to be Chris ahead of Risk, but Risk has been able to take it. He lost it momentarily, but he's got it into turn number 4. It's Barney in second. It's Chris who's gone down to 3rd position. It's going to be Matt, then it'll be Medj, then it's the 2 McLarens. It's Medj and Jordan in 5th and 6th as they all go through on the opening lap. It's Risto who was able to take the lead ahead of Barney. Chris's time penalty did a good penalty, so he did not count, and the safety car is out as well on the opening lap, and it's Nagy who finds himself out of the race here in Saudi Arabia in the sprint race. Well, that was absolute. Well, first of all, I kind of was like, okay, why do we have Chris here? So, a bit of a start where I had to actually commentate, but in my mind, I have too much things going on with how is Chris here? And continuing to say time penalty instead of grid penalty, because I rarely say grid penalty, to be honest. Time penalty is always a sentence which I have to take out, mostly when I'm commentating as well with my other commentators. They're always the ones to say grid penalty. I'm also always the one to say time penalty, so. Safety car's put on reduced. We still have one though. On the opening lap in the sprint race, we did not get many corners into this one before it all started to kick off. And I knew it was going to be chaos. It absolutely was chaos. Let's see what the tier 7 chat is saying. And it looks like it was contact between Nagy and Niall. Was there contact actually between them? Just double checking. No, this is the race. Sorry, this is qualifying. Let's see what happened in the race, if anyone said that. Sprint race. Actually. So. And also. So here we go. It's kind of like where I was like certain that Chris would not start in first position, but it turns out he was. So don't know what the game was playing at, unless I was being seriously blind. But I believe there was a 5 place good penalty pop up, and even on the results screen. So. Anyway, all making their way through under the safety car, of course. I didn't have any time to put up anything, so apologies for that. Still baffled. So there we have. So we have a lot of different. We have Medj, who decided to go on the soft compound, brave by the McLaren driver, who will be getting the gain of the soft tyres but he will be getting the pain at the end. Well, the safety car will help him though. Let's just say that. And then we also have Jordan, Matt, and Niall and Spike also, who just pitted, brave by Medj to commit right off the 5 red lights to go on the soft. But he's a man who would like to finish on the podium. And that's exactly what he'll be hoping for as we go under the safety car currently. And we'll be hoping to get back to racing conditions very soon. We're going to have Ambab diving it in for Williams as right to the second last box day he goes, and onto a set of soft tyres. So safety car should be in this lap, I believe, if everyone is able to just get close. But this one, I mean, it could be anyone, because now Medj we have on the softs, so we could see him taking the lead and then losing out. And it looks like we have Evo, as I'm having to literally chase him on the leaderboard as he continues to drop down. Evo dropping right down to the back of the train. Ambab will be the only car behind him on the soft, of course, but I believe it might have been a spin by him, his own mistake, or he's had a tiny bit of contact under the safety car. Doesn't matter, but he's now obviously lost out either way. But luckily, it's only the spin race, so you have a chance to recover. Also, guess who is in 7th position? He just arrived out of nowhere. 10 positions up. It's too easy for this man. I think we got to put him to the back of the sprint race as well. Far too easy. Already up 10. What a start by him. Unnoticed due to how baffled I am about Crystal getting the grid penalty and all of the other shenanigans that was going on. Leave it on tyres though, but Dixme, focus on him. Will he be able to... How much more will he improve? That's my question. Safety car's coming in this lap, so the answer to that is gonna be about a few laps away to see how much more can he improve. Let's just keep in mind he's in 7th position now. Where will he end up by the time I actually get to focus on him? Because obviously I'm expecting more stuff to happen on this restart, which I need to focus on. But let's see by the time I get some time what is going on with him. Anyway, we have the Red Bull man about to take us back to Green Flag Racing. It's gonna be Risk, who has gone. He's floored the throttle and he's got a good gap immediately. It is almost 8 tenths as we go down the main straight. We're racing once again. Who is going to be able to make some moves? There we have the McLaren of Medj on the soft compound of tyres, trying to get the move done on Matt on this restart as we go through then towards turn number 4 now. Right, tucked right in. He's going to have to go to the inside line. That would be a brave move if he's gonna risk it out there. He knows it's a sprint race. He can't take too many risks. He has to wait in behind currently as we make our way through. It is going to be very close as they go through, and there is Spike versus a Ghost in the background, but he was just getting all out of shape, and now trying to go to the inside line is Matt or Nail, who is on those medium compound of tyres. It's the up and under for Matt on the soft, who is trying to overtake his rival as we go towards the bank corner. He's able to get the move done, and also look at the background as well. There's the Aston Martin of Niall, who's also getting to the inside line and moving up into 13th, and then momentarily 3 wide as we make our way through side by side between Spike and Vest down towards the next few sequence of corners, and they're all battling like crazy here, and absolute chaos. Meanwhile, right in the battle for 4th position, it's Medj, who is improved on the soft compound of tyres up into 4th. His next rival is going to be Chris, who is in 3rd position on the mediums as well. But an interesting start then, and he is still in 7th, so Dixon's still in 7th. I'm going to have to stop focusing on him though, because we have Jordan, one McLaren, who was able to get the move done up into 4th. That's Medj. We have another one trying to go on the attack on the power then. Down towards turn number 1. We go once more in the slipstream. It looks like it's going to be Maney to make the move on Trap though. Down into turn number 1, you'll have the inside line. And as we go there, will it be Trap to fight against that one? Is going to be Trap losing out to Jordan as well. Does Jordan have the exit though on the medium compound of tyres? Trying to, on the soft compound, it's versus the mediums of Maney, but not being able to get the move done. It's going through the lap 5 out of lap 9. As attacking the curbs, first time penalty goes to Matt of this sprint race. Back on the power now, Jordan trying to be on the attack once more. Has to go to the inside line of the banking. Are they about to go side by side? Can Maney keep his foot in? The answer is no. Can he try and get the up and under? Will be hard versus the softs of Jordan. But it is going to be Jordan ahead of Maney currently as they all go through. Very close there. Niall pushing Matt through these corners. Matt pushing Trap through these corners as well. And as they all push on then. Are we about to see a move from Matt? No ERS being used. Has to go to the inside line. Contact between them and spinning around goes the Ferrari. More contact and there is Matt out of the race. And that's Niall who's also spun in the Aston Martin as well. And chaos once more. And big crash. Meanwhile, we cut to our leaders who make their way down the straight once more. About to begin lap number 6. Who is going to be able to make moves? It's Barney who says the fastest lap. Still in the rail tracks. It's Medj who is trying to put pressure on for the final place on the podium. It's Medj on the softs who committed. He started on the softs as well. So those will be bearing as well. And into the pits comes down. He's retired from the sprint race. That's side by side in the background. That's Ambab versus Trap. And we see Trap trying to risk it around the outside of turn number 4. That's bold, but he's off the racetrack there. He'll have to concede the position, but his teammate off West is waiting in behind as well. As is now West going to be able to try and put some kind of pressure on. They're all over the road as they go through down towards turn number 13 now. And that's what gets you all of these extra penalties. Being all over the circuit. Here we have Medj about to open his DRS and about to go attacking outside of 1 second. So for the leaders we have a move there from Jordan. Dixme will not be improving as Jordan on the soft has been able to get past. Will he be able to fight back though? Going into turn number 27, the final corner of this racetrack. Gonna use DRS, gonna use ERS, but the only thing is Jordan ahead also does have the DRS facility. There is Medj, as before we go into 27 was able to get past Chris. Can Chris though fight back with the DRS and the ERS? We begin lap number 7. Good lap there by Risk. Fastest lap of the race as well, because he was able to extend his gap. We now go down the straight. We're watching a Red Bull off Spike going wheel to wheel with Maney. Maney using all the ERS he can to try and keep his foot in here. He's going to have to go to the outside line. Can he try the up and under? Can he keep his foot into the inside? That's a time penalty for Thomas. And it's going to be Spike who keeps the position. And it's Maney all out of shape as we exit through turn number 3 towards turn number 4. Through 4 now we go. And just currently watching in. Exactly on 1 second. Currently, and looks like we have a mistake by Thomas. Not the first race. I mean, it's kind of a race for him as well. A sprint race is kind of a race, so not the first race he probably wanted. Inside 1 second as well now. It's Ambab running a tiny bit wide there. Not what he would have wanted. We go down the straight once more. It's Barney who does have the DRS. He's pushing on. He was a tiny bit wide though, I believe. And he's lost time. As you can see, the gap's gone to 1.1 second, almost 1.2, but he'll be able to recover some of that with the DRS. But will he get DRS into 27? That's going to be my question. Because he probably wants to go attacking. Did he get it? The answer is no. It's Jordan though, who is now going to be tucked in the slipstream. Which way will the McLaren driver go? To the inside line. I thought Matt was going to cover the inside. It's going to be Jordan though to go to the inside line. Matt's now going to try and fight it. He'll become the inside line. It gets tight between them as they go through now. Applying the power. The softs working for Jordan. Using the extra grip. They'll be fading now. But he still has the inside through 4. And it's going to be Matt who keeps his foot in. And he keeps 5th position as well in the process. And it looks like Jordan's going to have to stay close and go for another attempt. He's got a time penalty though. So that also gives you a reminder. Time to put on your penalties for this sprint race as well. As we are now on the penultimate lap. About to go on to the final one. And who else is going to be able to make any kind of moves? Looks like we have Evo spinning around in the AlphaTauri. Meanwhile our leaders very close then. We have Meg who's also trying to join a bit of this party. But look at Barney getting closer and closer. Look at the momentum he has now. And Risk all out of shape. I mean, he's not surprised because look how close Barney has got. He now has the DRS. He's gaining towards time number 27. Will we get a move here for the lead of the sprint race? It's Barney who's trying to roll around the outside. Barney takes the lead in the sprint race, and it's Risk who has disconnected. That explains it then. That explains his Wi-Fi was all over the place, and he had disconnected, and that's going to give Meg second position in this sprint race as well. Let's hope he can at least keep third, because that is unfortunate for the Red Bull man who has dominated the sprint race soon as the safety car. And it's going to be Barney now alongside Meg. Meg finds himself to the top two once more, and we have Risk who's been able to join back, so he will probably keep third position, but he'll be all out of shape. Chris will be all over him on this restart as well. So the restart for Risk, technically it's kind of a restart because he needs to get back in the car, get back used to it. It does take a tiny bit of time to get back in spectator. There we go, Risk is back in. Chris now has the momentum. He has to go around the outside of the banking through turn number 30, and it's going to have to be, can he roll around the outside, or will it be Risk to keep his foot in as he takes the wider line, uses the banking? Who is going to be ahead? They're still side by side. It's Risk with the edge in front as we go through. It's Risk with a position into third, but it's going to be Chris who is going to have DRS. Can he stay close now as well? We are also having some more position changes. It looks like it's going to be Barney who will come across the line to win the sprint race and take pole position for the main race as well. Oh, he loses the car. Major spun. He loses the car on the soft tyres, and that promotes Rick to second and Chris to third. But will they finish that way? It'll be Barney who wins surely, but who's gonna get second? We're heading to the final corner of this sprint race. It's gonna be Barney who will come across the line right to the front of the field, uses the RS, comes across the line to take pole position for the main race. And who's gonna finish second though? Tucked in the slipstream, side by side will it be? No, it's gonna be Risk who will take second. It will be Chris in third, and Meg, after a late mistake, finishes in fourth. It's gonna be Matt in fifth, Dixby in sixth, Spike in sixth after the time penalties, remember. Then we're gonna have Dixby in seventh, Dale in eighth, Maney, then Jordan, Ambab, Thomas, Trap, and we'll confirm the rest of the order for you in a second. But that was, I would say, a tiny bit more chaotic than expected right at the end of the last lap. So we got to confirm the results to you for the sprint. Barney, Risk, Chris, and then Meg, Matt, Spike, Dixme, Nail, Maney, Jordan, and then Ambab, Thomas, Trap, Res, Evo, Hotspeed, and your retirements, Niall, Matt, and Nagy, who retired on the opening tour of the 27 corners and the 6.1 kilometers racetrack of Jeddah. Well, a bit more of a calm intro by me, because I know there's more chaos coming in this race. So this is going to be thrilling. I think all of us are going to be excited for this sprint, which sorry, the main race. We've just done the sprint. For the main race coming up. My phrases are not matching with what I'm supposed to actually be saying, so probably what happens when you're commentating so much of so many different races, so many different tracks. Luckily, I'm able to use some of these phrases I'm saying over the weekend, because real life obviously has Jeddah as well. Hotspeed just slotting back in. Let's hope this is going to be an absolute thriller. Last bit of water for me, because I know chaos is gonna be coming. It is round number 9 of the season. And after an interesting end to the sprint race, let's hope we're gonna get an even more interesting main race. Let's see what's gonna happen. But it's all eyes gonna be to the gantry now. And the battle under the lights is 5 red lights away. Lights out, we're underway. Here in, gentlemen, it's a good reaction time for Barney. Big crash in the background. Unfortunately, that's the Ferrari also spinning around. And so much chaos as we go through. That is also looks like Nail as well involved in that. And Jordan, Niall and Vess as well. And it's absolute chaos currently. But it's going to be Barney. And we have a safety. Is it a virtual safety? It's a virtual safety car. It is going to be Barney, Medj, Spike. And unsure if it's just for me, but looks like a lot of people disconnecting, so we'll give that 1 second. But absolute chaos for us, at least. On our screens, let's just see what's happening. Yep, chaos. Not me. I always get scared whenever that happens. It is not me, it's the game. Tier 5 also had this, so I'm unsure what's going on, because I have access to the Tier 5 chat. They've also had some issues like this as well. So I don't have a clue what's going on a tiny bit with the game, but it looks like Tier 5, if Tier 5 had this as well, but it looks like we're gonna have a lobby restart. Well, okay. Until I do get an invite, we'll stay on this, because I mean, I don't think there's anything better than seeing some F1 cars around Cheddar. But I do not even have. I'm speechless kind of after that. Let me check you what's happening in Tier 5. Yeah, they're also doing their restart lobby. So it's something that's happened just with the game as soon as we go to the race. So unsure what it is, but I mean it must be something, cause let's just quit to main menu and well, let's not even speak about it. We had a McLaren flying in the air. Absolute chaos. Do not even know what to say about that. But luckily we are getting a restart. And here we go. I can't even call that pretty much a start. It was, yeah, a tiny bit. But as soon as we got racing, chaos. Have an invite. So obviously, the races were obviously going to finish a tiny bit later, obviously, but this is obviously going to delay it more, because sprint weekends, most leagues make it to one short, but WR continue the 18 minutes, which is fine for me, more action for me in the night, because I probably won't do anything except this after this, so it is, if you, obviously, I know some people might be in different countries and it's turning night soon and stuff, for example for Chris, but I think it's 2 weeks in the whole season where we do have this. Now, I don't know what you guys are doing currently viewing. If you're a driver, you probably are in your seat getting ready for more action. Me as the commentator currently is on my bed talking, and I'll get up when we obviously have some racing coming our way, because my bed is actually where I commentate, so currently just laying down So we're just currently waiting. And also, just to confirm it, I believe the reason why we didn't have Chris taking the penalty, 5th place, is due to it might be applied in the actual race. So 17 currently in. Right. Just to confirm to all of the viewers, it looks like Tier 5 have had it again. Once again on their restart. It looks like it's for a certain few people, I think. I'm unsure what's obviously going on for them, but... But it looks like they're doing another restart. So, I mean, something is going on. I'm unsure about Tier 2. Because I obviously don't have access to their chat. But... Tier 5 having another mayor as well. But what they're deciding is if we have it again, if the same people have it again, we're not restarting. So maybe it was just a few people this time, but we still have. It's not just us. It's Tier 5 also having the issues, and they've had it basically on their restart one as well. So I'm bringing you all the extra insight I can from wherever I can find it. I think all of us get a tiny bit of a little rest. Okay. And also, yeah, people should not ready up. So, yep, I think the drivers have now been told to not ready up until the host does. Because it's pretty annoying, let's be honest. So anyway, real life, Saudi Arabia, obviously Max Verstappen not doing media day as well. Now this is going to turn into basically me doing a real life, talking about real life and doing a tiny bit of a podcast. Anyway, that's usually what these turn into when we're waiting for a long time. So, obviously Verstappen had to miss the media day. If he's not able to race, if he feels too sick throughout the rest of the weekend, then I think possibly we could see. I mean, I'll tell you the possible options. I think Daniel Ricciardo obviously being the main one. You have Dennis Hauger, Zayn Maloney. I think some of the reserves as well. They're 6, okay. I'm a big fan of F2. 6 Red Bull liveried cars. So you have plenty of F2 drivers to choose from. You have plenty. And also the commentator's tweet, the F2 commentator Alex Jakes, his tweet is, join me and Alex Brundle to figure out the 6 Red Bulls. Something like that, so I think that tells you all you need to know. Red Bull have so many options in that, but I think their main one, Daniel Ricciardo if they want. Liam Lawson as well, also one of them, but I don't believe he is at Jeddah. But he might go, because, I mean, if someone finds out that there's possibly an opportunity, you might want to quickly get a flight there, as soon as possible. But it's obviously unsure. Will Verstappen be able to race? Currently looks like yes, but you never know, because he is saying, because yes, okay, there has been some stuff about, yeah, he's doing better, etc. But how much of that is Max Verstappen wants to get in the car and wants to win the race? Or how much of that is he obviously wants to just race? Like, so interesting, but we'll obviously see as the weekend progresses. I think we'll find out after FP1, FP2. I'll give you guys a little bit of a... One sec. We're waiting for one more driver. I've got another ping from Tier 5. Right, let's see. This time, while we wait for ours, I'll actually tell you how Tier 5 is. If they are able to. I can just tell by the chat, because soon as something happens, the drivers will start complaining in chat, so... Usual thing, though. Looks like we've been asked to ready up, so we'll find out ourselves this time around. But let's hope that both of us, for Tier 5's sake, and for our sake, we do not have any issues. So, their host is saying if same people get kicked, we are going. So it looks like it was maybe some people just getting kicked. And looks like there, I think one driver of Tier 5 also having the same issues, but don't worry, we're about to find ourselves what we are in store. And yeah, Tier 5 still having issues. Let's hope this goes to plan. Anyway. Let's hope, obviously, this race goes perfect. And a lot of excitement, hopefully, to come. So no drivers should be readying up. So I think Neil forgot Chris's grid drop. I think we'll just get on with it. That's what most people are saying. I would not like to have another lobby restart for that. I don't think most of us would. Yep, Tier 5 is still having issues, yep. I think they're just gonna have to think they're trying a new host. But So we're about to go racing. Once again, let's hope this time it goes perfect. And let's hope. Now I gotta kind of get back into the mode because I just standing up from laying down in bed. Right, I did not know what I'm doing, but here we go. Finally ready. The fire red lights will come on, and here come the lights. Wait for it. Wait for it. Still waiting. Here come the lights for the second start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're underway and we're racing here in Saudi Arabia once more. Who's going to get the best start? It's Barney, who is miles clear of the rest of the field. It's Chris already cutting across Chris as we go into turn number 1. It is going to be Barney ahead of Risk, ahead of Medj. It's Kristen who was trying to dance around the outside of turn number 1, but Risk was in the way. As we go through on the opening corners, it is going to be Barney who got a rocket of a start and he has kept the lead. It is going to be Medj in second position. He's moved up 2 places. It's Risk down to 3rd. It's Chris in 4th position, and then side by side and contacts and into the barriers. That is Spike, and that is the Mercedes of Matt, I believe, who have collided. Big accident. Virtual safety car out on the opening lap once again, and I'm unsure even. I think they were driving each other into the wall from what I saw. That's the Mercedes, I believe, of Matt, who just I just don't even understand what was happening. But some of the driving standards, I do have to say, even after Bahrain, even though I'll be honest, as much as I enjoy it, and as a viewer and as a commentator, it's probably more interesting these kind of races. Some of the driving standards do need to actually pick it up, because whatever I just saw there was definitely not acceptable. Because I just saw someone basically almost push each other into the, basically, yeah, what? I mean, he did push, and for the rest of the field as well, they were all rubbing racing as well. And we knew it was going to be chaos. Virtual safety car is gone. We're back to green flag racing. It's Barney. 2 seconds clear of Medj. It is going to be Risk trying to put the pressure on him as we go through. It is Dixme in 6th position as well. Improved 1 position. It's Nagy who's got a brilliant start. 10 places up for him, just like we saw Dixme do in the sprint race. That's side by side in the background. That's Trap versus Ambab. That's Ambab who is trying to make the move around the outside, having to sit back for now. That is Jordan making the move. That is Matt who retires from the race as well in the pit lane, but it's Jordan Dixme as they go through. It is Spike who's also left the session. He's already retired though. So lap 2 out of 35. An absolute chaos, I have to say, as the field now starts to separate a tiny bit. And that's Niall who's also out of the race. And will that cause another interruption? It absolutely will. That is going to cause another virtual safety car. And Niall finds himself out of the Saudi Arabian WR Tier 7 Grand Prix. A lot of stoppages so far. And yep, also, I'm unsure to be honest, about if it was on purpose or was he just not turning, or actually what actually happened there in that incident. But there was also a message saying that drivers do need to, they can use the stream POV, so I guess he has his own onboard and he can also use this, so 2 onboards technically. That's Ambab getting a drive-through, so I think he'll be, if you are to report an incident and the stream also catches it perfectly, we have the onboard. We'll have the onboard of the driver and the offboard as well. Chris retiring from the race. The man who won last time out in Bahrain finds himself not going any longer than 2 laps here in Saudi Arabia. And the field currently separated. Yellow flags out once more. And that's Nagy running wide, giving the position to Trap as he cuts right through the corner. And we already have 4 retirements in this race. Going through, they've all obviously separated out a tiny bit now as they push on. Lap 3 out of 25 we are on. I believe that is Hot Speed getting past Nagy as well. moving up past into 8th, Nagy down into 10th position. As they all make their way through, it's Jordan right on the tail of Nail. We'll also get the tyres up to you finally. Apologies for that. Wrong data up for you once more. It is Thomas mainly on those mediums. It's Barney on the mediums, and Medj goes completely different once more onto the soft. He's gone for the same decision. Which, what I mean by different is, the other drivers only picked because obviously they came in under safety car, but he decided to start on the soft as well for this race and in the sprint race as well. So he is going completely different to the rest of the field, doing his own strategy, which I do like to see. But currently, not being able to use the best of the soft compound tires. Yellow flags once again through the first sector. Who was that? It looked like a Red Bull, but I can't guarantee that. I mean, it's the only Red Bull it would have been risk, but it might have been just through that little sector. So yellow flag obviously coming up for the whole of it, but yellow flags are kind of a bit of a certain around Jeddah here. Matt's picking up a 3-second time penalty. First driver to do so in the main race. As DRS helping the McLaren driver to get onto the back of the Williams of Nail. And as we make our way down into turn number 27 then, will we be seeing a move now? Back on the power through 27 and down towards turn number 1. Here we go. DRS will be open. Nail using all the ERS he has though. So no move being completed currently. What about in the background though? That sticks me on the back of Matt's as well, trying to achieve a back start to the front. Started at the back of the sprint. Will he be able to find his way to the front of the field somehow? That'll be my question. But he will have 6 other drivers to navigate, and the first one is gonna be Matt, who he is currently behind, chasing him. We have Jordan also on the back, still off Nail, pushing on as they go through. Meanwhile, for the lead of the race, it's inside 1 second. That's going to be giving Medj a boost. Talking about boost, DRS giving Jordan a big boost now, and he might be able to complete the move down into turn number 27. You got to tuck in and try and make the move. He doesn't even need to tuck into the slipstream. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have to go around the outside, which will make him ahead. By the time they get into the final corner, turn number 27, can Nail do anything to fight back? Oh, Jordan with a mistake, running wide, and reopens the door for Nail, who says thank you very much, and the Williams driver finds himself moving up back into 4th position. And Dixon still on the back. Meanwhile, also we got to focus on the top 2 in this race. Is Medj just diving in on the soft tyres? But is it going to be a bit little too late on the soft stint? Because remember, the best of the softs you get are pretty much the first initial few laps. So you might have got control of the car. That is very close to the barriers. That's off the road there for Jordan, as he goes through obviously a very hard circuit. This is walls everywhere you look outside of 1 second, so I might just be losing out here on DRS, but Medj giving it his all, because he knows it's a crucial part of this race through the corners. Isn't looking. The rest is we have yellow flags, because through the corners he doesn't look like he has the same grip. That's probably due to the soft stuff starting to fade, but he's using all the RS he has to try and stay on the back of the Mercedes driver. Meanwhile, we have Jordan still attacking Neil. We have Dixme still attacking Matt. Mania has left the session. Down into one. Is anyone going to be able to complete the move? Here comes Jordan, gaining. It's 2/10 as we go through the opening 2 corners of the racetrack. And meanwhile, the Haas still chasing the Alfa Romeo off Matt as well. So due to the reduced safety cars, obviously, we're having much more less chaos. Which does mean the race is a tiny bit more calm, because obviously right now we would probably be under safety car, because we obviously had some retirements earlier on that would have been safety cars as well. We obviously have had virtual. Virtual just neutralizes it, doesn't close everyone in. DRS this time around for Medj. But he will also get it once more. So this time he's a bit more closer, because he obviously got it down into turn number 22. He wasn't getting it that straight, but now he's going to experience all 3 of them. He's trying his best to stay on the tail, even with the soft tires fading away now. Here is Dixme, still also trying to make the move. And down towards turn number 1, pushing on once more. And the race pretty much settled now. We obviously still have some of the battles going on the racetrack. Outside of 1 second now for the top 2 in this race, as they make their way through. But back onto a tiny bit of me just talking about F1 right now, because we do obviously have the drivers running close, but I think we'll kind of want to see. Oh, we might be seeing a move here. I'm going to have to interrupt myself with me talking a tiny bit about real life F1, because Dixme was getting close, but wasn't close enough to go for a dart for the move. Watching for the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo. Crucial to say, for people start saying I'm saying AlphaTauri. Oh no, spin there for Dixme. He loses the car and spins around. And he was getting close to his rival. He was pushing his rival through, but unfortunately he might have pushed himself a little bit too much in the process as well. Losing the car and spinning around also means momentarily no one's inside of 1 second each other. However, Medj is inside, so that's why I couldn't fully say it. At the moment it was, but you can see he's using all the ERS to try and get close. Down the main straight we go once more, down into turn number 1. Anyway, back a tiny bit more back into real life. We're gonna have, obviously, we obviously had, I would say, a good race in Bahrain, but I mean, without Fernando Alonso, I would probably say it was a boring one. So, Fernando Alonso providing all of the goods in that race under the lights in Bahrain it was. And turn number 10, those overtakes were absolutely brilliant, because we thought it was going to the outside. Hard to make the move there though. And that is going to be laid on the brakes, going to the inside line. I thought he was going to send it. It would have been risky, but can he make the move around turn number 4? Big chance of running wide. As pushing on now, we have another battle going on the racetrack. Thomas pushing him through the corners, shouting, get on with it, to Ambab. And I think he's just going to try and do the up and under. You'll have the inside line. They're going to keep their foot in. Mediums, worse as hard as we go through. Thomas has to run wide, comes back on, still side by side with Ambab as we make our way down now into the banking, and it's going to be Ambab who just stays ahead and up in front as well. Now it's all kicking off. As you can see, it's Jordan and Matt who are battling now down towards turn number 27. You see how this race was silent? Well, guess what? It's all kicking off. Yellow flags now through the second part of the lap as well, and that's Nagy who finds himself out. And into the pits comes Medj as well. Nagy retiring. But big opportunity now for Max to move into 5th position, which will become 4th as they go down the main straight because Medj decided to come in. Is he going to be able to take it by the time we get into turn number 1? There is your answer. He's up into 4th ahead of Jordan, who's in 5th. Medj, though, as I said, diving in onto the set of medium, compound of tides as well. Back over to Ambab and Thomas, because you see how the race will just explode at once. But I'm predicting a Charles Leclerc win coming. Anyway, here comes Ambab. Can he go to the outside? He probably wants the inside. He's gone for it. It's late on the brakes. Does he make the corner? And somehow he does. But there's contact when he rejoins. And it's going to be Thomas ahead of him now, because Ambab spinning around after making contact with him. And Maney as well. Ghost currently in this one. But I think those two getting pretty feisty, but they're providing all of the goods from a long way back. Ambab getting a 3-second time penalty as well. It was always going to happen because obviously he did make the corner. He ran wide though, so he kind of had to rejoin the racing line. And guess what? They meet. Because Thomas would have just broken early. And up and under easy. Let your rival run wide and then try and do the up and under. Then basically do it once more on the run towards 4. So here we go. Anyway, back onto real life. I'll have to get this out quickly before I get interrupted again, which is fine because that's the purpose we're here, aren't we? Anyway, I am expecting a few red flags as well because obviously it's gonna be I mean it's Jeddah. I think that's really all I need to say. I'm expecting a lot to happen. I'm gonna be really interesting. And with the walls closed, because unfortunately in real life we cannot put the safety cars on videos, we cannot put it on standard, we cannot put it on increase, we can't do any of that. If there's going to be a crash every second, we're going to have a safety car every second. So yeah, then we've also have Formula 2 going on this weekend as well. What a banging start to the season it was in Bahrain for the sprint race, and the feature race is delivered. Back onto track action. Here is Thomas going to the inside line of Trap. Will Trap keep his foot around the outside? Thomas will not leave the space though, and Trap finds himself as that Dixmy out of the race. Dixmy finds himself out. Barney comes in. And right now we would be getting safety cars every single second. Here we go. I mean, he should have DRS. Does he not? I mean, well, he should have it now though. He's wide though, a tiny bit. Does it go open? Okay, well, I'm not going to speak about it. I think he has it open though. I mean, by the speed he's using, by the speed he has, he might have it open, does he? Okay, whatever. Let's just focus on whatever's happening in the racing currently. Because the rear wing is not open for me, but it should be open. What about this time? There we go, now it's open. And now he has a lot more speed. ERS as well, down towards turn number 1. They head, will it be Trap or will it be Thomas as they get into turn number 1? It's going to be Trap ahead in 8th position. Thomas in 9th. And getting a tiny bit of a snap. Medj on the back of his teammate. Will Jordan just allow his teammate through, because they are both on completely different strategies currently as it stands. Jordan hasn't come in. Will Medj have to do it the hard way on his teammate? Up and under for him as he applies the power now, and he had his teammate alongside, and I thought they were about to continue the battle, but his teammate is now ahead. It's Medj in 5th, Jordan in 6th. And Medj obviously on those mediums versus the hards of Barney. So could we be seeing a battle coming soon for our higher positions? So here we to lap 13 then, as they're all just currently trapped now with the fastest lap as well. While you were doing that, I was just reading tier 5 chat. I think they're maybe postponing their one because they haven't had any luck. Just currently replying to someone. Let me just quickly write that in. There we go. Into the pits comes our race leader. Sorry guys for being a bit silent for a second. Back. He comes onto the racetrack. So the order now is Barney, Medj, and yellow flags then momentarily. All making their way through. It's just one of these calm races currently, where there is not much going on. And Bab will probably get the move done here on the Ghost. Matt sticking it out there for longer. Thomas diving it into the pits. Coming back out now. Here is Risk then in the Red Bull. Jordan gets the time penalty. I think Medj will be trying to push right to the limit. Does Matt come in this lap? Because if he doesn't, he might be holding up the lead, which he's absolutely allowed to do. I mean, he is. But I'm just saying, in the point of the viewer, that we might be seeing if Barney gets held up a tiny bit throughout this lap. Nope, he's coming in. Because if Barney gets held up, it will give Medj basically the 1 second that he needs. And he's still trying to get into it, so he'll have to do it himself now. As they both head down into turn number 1. Barney, Medj, the order. And then we have Risk, and then we have it will be Nail who will move up into 4th. My question is though, where will Matt rejoin in 5th position? Looks like Hotspeed also diving it in. Here is Trap. 1.2 seconds, 1.3 now. Maybe running a tiny bit wide there for Medj maybe. Evo has left the session. And 1.2. Well, if we still had safety cars, which we do, but I'm just saying, if it wasn't on reduced, I think probably we would. I think probably we would see even more retirements because the whole field would be bunched up. Obviously, as a viewer and commentator, safety cars being reduced is probably not what I want, because that means less action. For the drivers, though, I think they'll be absolutely loving life. Which I obviously understand their point, but here we go. DRS is open for Medj. He is inside of 1 second. With the fastest lap, he is now going to try his best to go for race victory as he chases Barney. These two have had a duel in the past. Take your minds back to Portugal where they dueled it over in the final lap. Basically it was a duel basically after the safety car right to the end. What a brilliant fight that was. Jordan setting the fastest lap. And this could be I mean, who's gonna win this? Because we have Barney on the hards, Meg on the mediums. Pushing on. Back on the power. Might we be seeing a move for the lead coming up very soon with DRS open? He has DRS open. It's going to be Meg, who is going to be chasing his 5th victory, while Barney chases his 2nd victory. Who is it going to be? As they make their way now through and down towards turn number 1. Who is going to be able to get the move done down there? Meg's just braking. He's just waiting in behind currently. Doesn't want to go for it now. He's just going to wait, because he knows it's going to be coming to him now. He has DRS, 3 DRS zones to use. If he can just stay close to the corners, he will have a big opportunity down the straight. So just currently pushing on. I'm just still reading through some of the other channels. So we might, tier 5 might be moving it to next week. I'm happy. Tier 7 does still going ahead. Obviously we haven't had the issues they had. They've had even more issues, to be honest, than us. As I say that, I felt for a second that I was having my own issues. Anyway, not a good idea cutting away from the leaders, especially when it's getting close. DRS7 for Medj once more. He needs to get close. Now, this exit of 27 is always going to be crucial, because it decides your run down into 1. But I'd say, best opportunity for him will be 1, if he can use all the DRS and get close. And the battle for the lead, keeping us tense. But what we have another battle going on. That's Jordan versus Trap, heading down into the final corner of the racetrack, turn number 27. Who's going to be ahead? It's going to be Jordan who gets the move done. Will it be Trap though to fight back? He'll have DRS. It's almost outside of 1 second for the lead. Medj will have to do all he can to keep it inside of 1 second. Anyway, this is a battle though for 6th position. It's Trap who has to go to the outside line. As we go into turn number 1, can he roll around the outside and take the position? It's going to be Jordan who keeps his foot in, but Trap keeps it even further. He'll have the inside line. Jordan is shoved over the road, and it's going to be Trap who gets the position. Into 6th is Jordan in 7th. Well, making their way through and getting tense between them, but Jordan wants to keep his foot in. He doesn't want to give this one up. Outside of 1 second as well. Between our leaders, Barney just looks to right now be acing this circuit. Let's see, braking a tiny bit early, trying a different racing line, trying to get back on the power earlier, but getting a bit too close, I would say, to the rear ring of the Ferrari there. He had to kind of go wide himself a tiny bit. Still pushing on. Meanwhile, these are our leaders once more. Medj still looking for the good exit, and oh, it's a terrible one. Terrible one for Medj, which might even cost him a tiny bit more. Back over to this battle though. Jordan gets past Trap. Was that the correct decision though? Because there is a DRS coming up there. Now, down towards turn number 27. And then we're going to have one down towards turn number 1. Are we going to see Trap waiting? There you go, there's your answer. He's waiting. He is waiting. The tactics are coming into play now. ERS, DRS, battle for 6th place coming up. Down towards turn number 1. Trap will use all the ERS, will use the DRS. Will Jordan go defensive? This is 4th. 6th place in the Grand Prix to the inside line for Trap. Sends it in there. Contact between them and running wide goes Trap. Jordan keeps 6th position though. They're still pretty close, I'd say. This one isn't over yet. Isn't over yet, this one. So it looks like what I was about to say, as Barney gets, sorry, not Barney, Trap gets a 3-second time penalty. Now I'll speak about Barney. The bad exit, Medj loses time to the corner, so he needs to be as closest as he can into turn number 1 to make sure he doesn't lose that much time that he gets out of the 1 second. So that's why the mistake, for me, to be honest, is pretty costly for him. As Jordan now tries to set away yellow flags through the first sector as well. Momentarily, though. Here are our leaders once more. Medj pushing on. And he looks like he has to brake a tiny bit because a bit of weird engine sounds as he goes down in there. Lap 20 out of 25. This race, I just noticed, is coming to an end soon. These two drivers who dealed it out in Portugal, Medj will be hoping to do more of the same now. And what a brilliant and sensational final lap that was, which gave us a thrilling finish. Risk is also coming in behind. If these two fight like crazy, this could become a three-way fight. And Medj looking better on this lap, and with DRS, this might be the lap for him. This lap starting onto next lap. DRS, gaining, he needs to make sure these corners are perfect for him though. It didn't look like Barney also looked like it was out of shape for him. Is this the lap for him? Gaining now with the DRS. And this is going to be crucial. Risk is getting closer all the while as well. We head into turn number 27. Medj takes a different racing line. Is he able to get back on the power quicker though? Now down towards turn number 1 they go once more. Barney for another lap running will be fine, I think. I think he'll be fine. He's getting close. And then Medj once again braking very early. The lap car shouldn't affect them too much though. Let's hope. It's going through now. The Battle of Assumes. 1.1 second. This one is gonna be a close one now. Can Risk make the move on Medj and try and chase after Barney with much more fresher medium tyres? Medj is hanging on to the car, I think. I personally believe that his tyres might be going, so is Risk the man who might be able to take the fight to Barney. This one, as you can see, Medj super late on the brakes. He's pulling out everything out of the car. You can see how desperate he is, and it showed you how late on the brakes he was. DRS open once more, gaining all the while. He needs this exit to be perfect. He knows he needs to kind of get the move done. He needs to get this move done, because if he's ahead, he has more options. What he can't afford to do is basically lose the 1 second and stay behind, because if his pace is slower, he can't afford to lose it. Now, is this the lap for Medj to try and make the move? ERS, will it be used? No, DRS is going to be used though. Down towards turn number 1 we head once more. Now, this one's going to be getting tense now. I do not have a clue who's going to be taking victory. This one might go down to the final lap once more. Could even be side by side to the line, because as I mentioned to you earlier, we saw that in a lot of cheers over this week in WOR. We've seen it in real life as well, not for the lead though, but for a podium positions. So you never know, you could be seeing something like that. And remember, look at the pressure Barney will be going under, and soon look who's arriving on the scene is the Red Bull man of Risk. He's inside the 1 second for the first time. He is using all the RS. He knows this is his moment if he can just about get close. Can Medj try and make the move now? DRS is going to be open. Is this the lap for him to make the move? Risk also pushing in there. The Red Bull driver's rear wing goes over once more. Pushing on then, right towards turn number 27. And gaining. There's 3 cars in there. We do not have a clue who's gonna win this one. It does look to me though that Barney does have a tiny bit of the upper hand currently. His traction out of some corners is giving him the advantage, but the only thing is that Risk is joining in this one now. So this is not just gonna be... Oh, Meg is all over the road. He might just lose the car. It's gonna give an opportunity to Risk, who's trying to roll around the outside. He's lost that 1 second now, and this is crucial for Meg and Risk. And that mistake is gonna cost him a possible chance of victory here then. And this is what happens when you're out of shape in one corner. You might be out of shape in the other. And now Risk has also got to be out of shape. And this is basically a kind of a gift to Barney, because Meg affected Risk as well when he made that mistake. He affected himself, and both of these drivers will need to do all they can now to try and get back inside that 1 second. If they cannot, it might be over for both of them. As you can see, they're both using as much of the ERS they can, because they know these are crucial. This is crucial. Meg was saving the ERS. This is gonna have to be some of the best laps we've seen by the McLaren driver. We're about to head on to the penultimate lap of this race. He's pushing that much that he's going to be pushing himself to different heights now as well. What is this last lap? He's all out of shape once more. It's falling away for the McLaren, and that's what I was saying. When you're out of shape in one corner, it continues throughout the lap. And that is going to cost him a chance of victory. Is Risk going to take second place though in the Grand Prix? There he goes to the inside, and he moves up into second. It's Barney ahead of Risk. Now, can Risk do anything on those mediums to try and chase after Barney? I doubt it, but will he? Can he? We have matches decided to come in. I'm unsure why though, because we're heading now to the end of this one. I mean, you never know. Risk currently 1.6. It was 1.5 momentarily. Matt, I think, might be going for faster lap, but he's lost a position. And here comes Trap as well. Pushing on 1.6. This is gonna have to be a brilliant final lap by Risk if he wants to do anything. It's 1.8 though. He will not be able to get close enough, I don't think. He'll probably try. And now it looks like, unless Barney makes a mistake, it is going to be him who will take victory. It's now up to 2 seconds. And we were expecting a tense finish. It's been tensed anyway, I would say, before this. But anyway, Barney then making his way around the final corner now to begin the final lap of the race here in Saudi Arabia. And this is gonna be quite an interesting one then. And if he can just navigate the rest of this lap, he'll be on to take victory. It looks like we'll be Meg in third, Risk in second. Can Matt pull an absolute brilliant final lap here? Oh no, Barney! He gets a penalty! Time penalty, and he's also retired on the racetrack. Barney finds himself out, and I said if he made a mistake, that's the only way he will lose it. And a time penalty and a retirement means he will lose it, and it's gonna be now the Red Bull driver who we kind of thought didn't really have a shot before he came into the 1 second and into the picture. But he does, you know, he does. But can Meg do anything about it? This has completely changed the picture now. And we have Meg, he's going to try all he can now. We might even be getting a final lap. Battle now. Meg's all out of shape. DRS and ERS. But it looks like it'll be Risk who will be able to hang on if he can navigate the final corner. Turn number 27. Using all the ERS is Meg. But it's going to be Risk then, who will come around the final corner. He didn't think he would be winning this. He is going to be winning this though. Meg almost loses it on the power. It could have been Barney, but in the end, it's going to be Risk who comes across the line to take round number 9 and win the Saudi Arabian WR Tier 7 Grand Prix. It is going to be Meg who will take second position. It will be Neil who will take third, and it will be Jordan with a 9-second. It'll be Matt with a 9-second as well. So whoever finishes ahead on the racetrack will be getting the position. Will it be Jordan or will it be Matt? As the DRS goes open, all of the DRS you can. Are we about to get a side to the line? Here we go. We make our way towards the line, and it's just gonna be Jordan in fourth. It's gonna be Matt with a fastest lap who will finish in fifth. It's gonna be Trap. Then it'll be Hot Speed. But who's gonna get a position? How much seconds did Trap have? That's the crucial thing. And it's actually going to be Thomas who needs to hang on to it. Thomas might have a chance of this one. Watch Thomas as he comes over the line. Yeah, he's into 7th. He needed to make sure he was inside the 3 seconds. And it was obviously going to be close, as you can see. Just over a 10th. It's going to be Ambab who will take 9th. But that's the thing. I mean, that's probably the only chance he had. Only chance he had. Did risk, and he also takes his first victory of the season as well. After challenging for so long, being there, fighting at the front, he finally gets the glory, and he comes to win in Saudi Arabia. A brilliant drive by him. And what I'd like to say is, it's a reward that has been waiting for him. And it looks like Meg was also lifting and coasting, that'll explain it. So we were just been told that Matt does not get the fastest lap point. So, well, another dramatic finish that was. And, well, there isn't a fast lap, but I didn't even know that myself, so. I do not even know what to say about this one. When we came to Jeddah, we expected something crazy to happen, and it did. In the final lap of this one, it'll be Risk who comes across the line to win. It'll be Meg in second, Nail third, then Jordan, Matt, Trap, Thomas on his return to tier 7, then Hotspeed, Amber, Barney. Oh, what can I even say? He'll be so gutted about that one. It'll be Maney, then Evo, then Dixme, Nagy, Chris, Niall, Matt, and Spike. Your retirements, some of them, but also 0 safety costs today. Wow. Absolutely deserved. I don't even know what was happening before this in tier 7, but as soon as I've been commentating since Portugal. And are we getting another breaking news? Or is it just a joke? Probably. Yep. So. Right. All I can say about Risk, fully deserved. He's been performing to basically a top level. He wasn't even expected to join. He just joined the battle, got himself ahead of Bedge, and just like that, won the race. And Bedge will be thinking, well, obviously, he will be disappointing about the lifting and coasting and expecting some safety cars, but also, another thing, I think he'll be disappointed about if he did not lose that lead, if he didn't lose the position to Risk, then he would have come home to win. But what a race that was! Yes, it did have its boring moments, not as good as Bahrain, but still, it was in there, probably due to the safety cars being reduced, but that's as a viewer's point of view, but obviously less chaos for the drivers. But absolutely brilliant to watch. Absolutely enjoyed that one. Well done to all of the drivers, and congratulations to Risk especially. Absolutely deserved. I'm happy for him. And even in Bahrain and previous races was performing so well. So well. It's been a reward that has been waiting for him, and he's finally got it in round number 9 of the season. Anyway, That's it then from Jeddah. First of all, I really hope you enjoy the real life F1 weekend, and hopefully it's given you a tiny bit of a, um, a tiny bit about the circuit and a pre-Jeddah esports racing. Yeah, so hopefully you all enjoy the real life weekend, and hopefully it's a thriller for us as well. But yeah, well done to all of the drivers today. Thank you for watching. My name in the commentary box has been Omi, and unsure if I'll be here next week. Depends on what tier I obviously get placed in. But yeah, thank you for joining me. My name has been Omi, and make sure you tune in tomorrow as well to go and watch the console tier 1. Anyway, from me, Omi, it's goodbye.